Hey everyone, Christopher here. Today we're going to be doing an astrotheological sermon on the mysteries of Noah. This will be a basic introduction into understanding biblical allegories and how they relate to us in a celestial sense, as well as an psychological, spiritual sense as well. So we're going to be following the Hermetic principle of as above, so below, relating it to the story of Noah, and understanding how this can open up a beautiful activation on the inner planes so that we can seek for an inner transformation when we're preparing our own personal arc, which will be going into the meanings of some of these words that appear in the story and how it relates to different aspects of our consciousness on the alchemical journey through the earth stage of consciousness, entering into the water stage of consciousness. Unwanted for whatever reason, I've just been kind of intuitively prompted to start off with Noah. So let's get right into it. I'll share my screen briefly. So the meaning of Noah in Hebrew is rest, calm, quiet, peace, tranquility, and equilibrium. Ark is a holy abode. Esoterically is the human body. The soul enters into human body, or the ark. Floods of life come, and we are purified. This is the essence or summary of the story. Now, on one level, this is the ark that Noah builds. Noah is the sun. Noah is the inner part of us that exist in the bliss of Brahman. Brahman is the effulgence of the Lord Krishna, or the cause of the counter space realm. Noah, meaning a place of rest, calm, quiet, is the inner part of us that is unperturbed by the four elements. It is the part of us that's connected to the highest states of consciousness. That's why it's said that Noah walked with God, meaning that Noah is the part of us that's connected to the top of the tree of life, Kether, Chokmah, and Banah. That's the higher father, mother. So our inner spiritual Noah is the higher aspect of our individual consciousness that's above the physical ego, that finds righteousness in God or rest. It also symbolizes the ability we have in youth to take the time to build the ark before the flood comes, because the Shiva, or the destructive principle of God, is always looking to preparing its next destruction to spontaneously allow for creation. So our karmic reactions create catastrophes when we just behave recklessly in the lower mind and do things selfishly. Then when the flood comes, we haven't built our ark, we get swept away. So we have to align with our inner Noah, which is the spiritual spark that resides within the consciousness. On another level, Noah is the sun on the ecliptic, where, for example, the sun entering the ark and exiting the ark is symbolic of the birth, death, and resurrection of the sun, because the sun enters into winter and the rain comes for 40 days and the floods occur. And then when everything happens, when that ends and peace returns, they leave the ark and everything is okay. So that symbolizes the sun resurrecting or birthing into spring. So as the sun climbs through this arc, that's why there's different animals in the zodiac and the dualities between them. Always look for different creatures' names within the stories, because they usually relate to the zodiac. And this is the human body, as well as, the ark being this human body, as well as the ark being the spiritual abode where Noah rests in and creates within the silence of meditation and solitude. So the ark is the human body. Noah being the inner light part of us, or inner spiritual atom that resides in our innermost, and it's connected to the highest aspects, and it is what is our conscious tells us when we are doing something that is not right. It's like a part of us that's still 100% conscious and connected to the supernal realms. It exists, coexists, and communicates with our inner being or inner father, which is in secret, or the Ancient of Days in counter space. So this part of us is referred to as Noah. And Noah is our inner knower. There's a correlation between the word Noah and knower. And it's the part of us that it's the knower of the field, just like what we're talking about with Lord Krishna. Noah, it represents the physical sun on the ecliptic as well as our inner spiritual sun. So in all of these stories, the infinite being or the high creator, where it be Jehovah, Yahweh, Christos, the Logos, Quetzalcoatl, the high level being, Vishnu, always finds favor in the solar heroes. So Noah is a just man, and he represents the part of us that follows the highest principles of nature, that is compassionate, the inner Christ that dwells and enters within the body or the ark. So Christ enters into our arks and starts bringing order into things. So in the story, Noah is the solar hero who builds an ark and saves his family from a flood along with the animals. And the unclean animals come in by twos and the clean animals come in by sevens. And thank you, Bill Donahue, for explaining that the animals that come in clean with seven represent the seven chakras and the kundalini and the pure thoughts and the pure things that we have to bring into our ark. Because in the story, Noah has to bring in dualities of animals, and in clean ones, he comes in by seven. This represents the dark aspects of ourself have to be reconciled, as well as the clean aspects that are in alignment with the true divine nature. And we build our ark of meditation and solitude, which we refer to in the definition. It's a place of a sanctuary or inner place of peace, where Noah, which means rest or peace or tranquility or equilibrium, connects with this ark, and then this order happens. So the Christ comes into the human body and creates an order. So when the flood comes, there's the ark that saves the soul, and the soul is going from the earth level of consciousness to the water level of consciousness. So this is also in alignment with the seasons and the ecliptic and the sine wave, as Noah represents the sun on the ecliptic. So the animals boarding the ship in twos are our inner polarities, and they come in with us to the body as we incarnate. So of course, the ark is 12 zodiac, and it's this circle. This is Noah's ark. And on another level, on this fundamental plane, the ark of meditation, of silence and solitude, we enter the ark of solitude, meditation, self-inquiry. Through various practices and techniques, we begin building our ark. And naturally, this occurs as well. As the cerebral spinal fluid regenerates the body, it's creating the ark. Once this takes place, we become immune to the floods of life and the disastrous effects of emotions. Like we will no longer have to have emotional outbreaks or have emotional tantrums or be affected emotionally from external things without our inner Noah allowing it or not. So we have our inner guidance system activating by moving from the earth level of consciousness of fear into the water consciousness level consciousness of understanding and truth. So once this takes place, our inner aggregates and demons are all washed away. As the flood comes, we need that inner purification from the waters. It rains for 40 days and 40 nights, representing completeness. So we become complete when we are aligned with our inner Noah. Our inner Noah is similar to Arjuna, and Noah communicates with God in the same way Arjuna communicate with Krishna. So our inner parts, our inner higher personality would be Noah, the inner sun, which connects to the inner spiritual sun, which would be Christos or Christ or Vishnu. So we have to put to death the carnal mind, transmute our waters, and enter from beta to alpha, which is from chaos to a sense of peace, by allowing us to create our ark and use the ark, which means calm, quiet place. Now, it's important to know the three sons of Noah. The three sons of Noah represent the three aspects of consciousness that are born, or the qualities of the mental body, the body that lives in the counter space realm, as well as the astral body. And they represent different aspects of our consciousness that are given birth once we follow through with this process within. Now, Noah is always obedience to the inner father, or the cerebrum. The cerebrum is our higher guidance system, and Noah is connected to it and resides. And by doing this, we purify our lunar consciousness into astral consciousness, and we're able to wake up in dreams, have full control of our sexual energy. Notice how Noah was in a boat in the ark, and he was at peace when all of this was happening, the floods, and the people that he was with woke him up and said, "What is going on? Why are you asleep when all of this disastrous things are taking place?" Because he's always in the enlightened state of consciousness. And that boat is also the constellation Argus. And also, not to mention that also Jesus was in a boat with the fishermen when the storm came, and they also told him to wake up, master, why are you asleep? There's a storm coming, because that part of us is at rest. Jesus and Noah represent the part of the consciousness that is in the abode of Brahman. We are here, right? We're here right now. We are coexisting with that substratum, and that is our ark that we can use to latch onto when the physical body gets flooded and swept away through life, or literally, we can be resting in our ark, our spiritual abode. So the ark is the human body as well as the spiritual abode. So when Noah sends forth the raven from within the ark, it represents our inner self reaching out to the heavens and earth, or the exterior reality after being within. So this ark that we create, we have to communicate with the external heavens and the earth as well. So we send forth the raven. So it's actually interesting to see that raven represents is one of the animals that's at Scorpio, because Scorpio is the raven as well as the scorpion and the phoenix as well. Now, this raven is the part of us that we send out to communicate with the physical world, to send a message to the creator, to say, is it okay to step out now? Is it okay to come down to a level of being able to communicate on a physical level, to come down a bit, grounding. So Noah's three sons, three qualities that are born from the inner spiritual nature: the astral body, mental body, and the body of causes. It's interesting to know the dove is sent forth three times representing the mental body, our mind, body, and our emotional nature. And the number 3 represents the 3 crowns of the tree of life: Kether, Chokmah, Binah, wisdom and understanding. And these are the qualities that are born when we are working with these archetypes. The dove that's sent forth when Noah sends forth the dove in the boat. So the story of Noah essentially is this: Noah was the favored one of God. God told him that he's going to destroy the demons of the earth for him to create an ark and take animals and his family into it. And it was built with a specific part of wood. Now, wood has always symbolized the tree, and the tree of life, the tree of knowledge. And this relates to magnetism and magic and magicianry, and the ability to transmute our animal nature into divine, to be divinizers, to be theurges. And so he finds favor in him. He builds the ark. It's the ark, of course, is the sun traveling through the ecliptic, as this is the ark, and it enters the ark, it enters the winter, and then the storm comes, and then it resurrects. After he is there for a long time, he sends forth different animals like doves, the doves and the raven, to check and see how things are going out there, if it's safe to return from the ark yet. And then once the raven comes back and shows that, yes, the earth is now level, he exits the ark and things are peaceful. They survived the flood that was prophesied by Noah, who's the inner Adam that's spiritually connected to the spiritual realm. So the story represents an inner transformation, or the process of an initiate who takes the time and takes the chance now to start building their inner ark of meditation, so that when the floods come, we could be prepared. We have saved our energies. We've saved our sexual energies. We've saved our we have done our duties and our services to mankind. We have become solitude and create mental clarity and to practice the inner dwelling of meditation so that we can rise from the earth level of consciousness into the water level of consciousness. So then we can wash away those impurities of the lower mind and no longer be dragged around by them. So knowing the ark, entering and exiting the ark, representing the birth and death of the sun on the ecliptic. Noah, or the sun, enters into the ark, our human body, and starts to bring order to the chaotic elements in the three centers. So Noah represents, look at him, he's the master carpenter. Right here we have what I would call Masonic symbology, showing that he is the hieroglyph within us that is creating structure within our psyche, building order. He's building the ark. He's the wise man within ourselves that we can connect to. We can connect to the inner knower within ourselves, or the inner Noah. We each have our own individual, particular, specific Noah or archetype within us that activates and brings about these changes within our consciousness. So what can we draw from this? That Noah is an initiatory story. Noah is the part of us that is of the higher nature and takes orders and is in direct connection with the cerebrum or the RAM or the higher mind, which is the Father who dwells within. And it helps us go from the earth level of consciousness to the level of water. Noah is the part of us that finds praise in the eyes of the universe. It's the part of us that is conscious of other people's suffering, the empathetic nature, the compassionate nature, the part of us that will step up and say, hey, you know what? I'm done with these bad habits. I'm done hurting people that I love. I'm done, the flood's coming. I can tell that the disaster is brewing. It's time to meditate and attach ourselves to spiritual things rather than have material absorption and only seek for material sense gratification. We could put our ideals in the spiritual nature like Noah did. Because Noah was an upright man, God found favor in him, told him to build an ark. He was instructed to go into the ark. He brought in the dualities of animals, which represent the zodiac. The ark represents the sun and the ecliptic, and this is just like the Knights Round Table of King Arthur. Instead of the round table, this is the ark. So this changes, the story changes, and this is what changes, but it always means this. It always references the soul incarnation to the human body or the spiritual creation. So in Noah, or the solar heroes such Moses, Noah, or all of the various characters represent different aspects of the initiatory journey of the alchemical changes. So this is definitely going to go well with the alchemical series that we're working on as well, where we've gone through Aries, Taurus, and now Gemini of the 12-part alchemical process. We also have to take a look into the Bible and understand the mysteries Kabbalistically and esoterically so that we can help initiate processes in our life. So the solar force is in our sexual organs. The electric magnetic energy are the dualities in the boat. We have to transmute from our animal nature to give birth to the spiritual qualities, or the seven, rise up to the seven chakras. Gemini is seen in this story as the dualities that enter the boat. In the same way that James and John in the story of Jesus who enter the boat are Gemini. The boat is a sine wave. The boat is our body. And the sun is Noah. And Noah is our inner knower. And our inner knower, like Krishna says, we have to be the knower of the fields. Know the knower and the knower in the field. And that is true knowledge. Because the one that Noah communicates, Noah is the knower, but the one beyond Noah is the Supreme Father, our within that dwells, our inner being. That is dwelling with Krishna and Radharani in the highest planes. And it's a true existence, better than this and more subtle. And essentially that part is outside of the knower and the field. So in order to move from the earth level of consciousness to the water, we have to enter that place of silence. We can meditate. Santos has taught this meditation in his lectures that's very helpful to help start building the ark. It's you're sounding out all of the vowels. A, E, O, I. And you're bringing the energy up and around and cooling it down at the heart. You're entering Noah, the silent abode within, until the ark is complete, the flood has come, and you've reached the water. The water has purified the earth, and you're ready for air, level of consciousness, and finally fire, which is the purified, Christified mind, which we'll be talking about in future lectures. Another way is to listen to beautiful music like classical Mozart, Chopin, Debussy, very beautiful music that can help you ascend to the deepest levels of consciousness and find your calm and quiet place, so that the material modes of nature and emotions don't have to affect you. You can have your arc in place. The earth, to master the earth consciousness, we should take up some type of physical routine. We should exercise daily. We should take care of the physical maintenance of the body. We could have a brush and perform body brushing every morning and brush our pores and breathe in and out of our pores by breathing in and out of our body rather than our lungs. We use our imagination to breathe in and out of our body. This is another way to work with ourselves on a physical level. Making sure that we're exercising every day, living in our peaceful abode of meditation, either throughout the entire day or at specific times. Preferably at the time of Libra at 6 p.m. or 6 a.m. Aries is the best time for meditation or internal alchemical transmutation. So what are the aspects that, Noah had to build this ark and be protected from all of the aggregates that were that the God wanted to cleanse the earth of, right? Well, who are these negative entities that the flood was going to wipe away? Well, they're none other than the lower aspects of our mind, the inner parts of us that cause a lot of problems. Selfishness, greed, lust, gluttony, wrath. And if we work with our inner Noah and we activate this part of our brain right here by abiding here, instead of abiding down here in Egypt, which is below the kidneys, we can abide in Jerusalem. Or actually, this is heaven. Jerusalem's the heart. This is the kingdom of heaven. Abide here with the Father and the Son, Father, Holy Spirit. So as we can see, we're going to be diving into the initiatory mysteries of the Bible, and also looking forward to doing this with the Upanishads as well. I hope you've enjoyed this intro into astrotheology. I hope you enjoyed this sermon, and I deeply appreciate you guys. Please reach out with any questions. I would be more than happy to answer, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.